Their parents won the Second World War. They all but destroyed the family unit after wasting their youth in a counterculture movement that fueled massive divorce rates, childhood mental illness, and unstable family units, which now has resulted in neutered masculinity and replacing essential male role models in society with hormone blockers for teenagers. If you are a, what did you call us before, Mark? What are we?
Zennial. The
Zennial.
best of both worlds. Yep.
If you're a Zennial, you know damn well that your parents and school nurses, if you were maybe a little bit rambunctious, especially guys, you know what I'm talking about. Beep, beep. Mrs. So-and-so, can we please have Rich down to the nurse's office? It's time to take his Ritalin, right? This is this is what they did to us. And because this was a generation of taking the easy road, they allowed it to happen. Now we know that little Johnny didn't have a chemical imbalance. He was not suffering from chemical imbalance induced in depression. He was suffering from depression because his mother was a skank who cheated on his father, and their parents got divorced because they were children of the 60s, and they would rather sit around and drink and smoke pot instead of raise their damn children or make their marriage work. I mean, should I get more into any of the gory details? All right, you guys know what the hell I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. 2, they then would go on to trade our middle class and manufacturing base for cheap shit. Disability and welfare checks embracing globalism, while China and organized crime, like the cartels in Latin America, from first it was Colombia, of course, and then it became Mexico, cheered over how much easier it would be to flood the country with drugs and trash products, especially counterfeit shit, things that kill people, things that are dangerous. You would not have found that back then, before this, folks. Then, on top of it, they voted for politicians bankrolled by pill pushers like Purdue Pharma, right? Who manufactured Mother's Little Helpers for entire regions of the country that were hollowed out by these policies. Think the Appalachia, right? Think Eastern Ohio and the Ohio River Valley. Think West Virginia. Think, 54 out of all the counties in Pennsylvania. Think Southeastern Michigan. Think the Upper Peninsula, even though some of that, was just rural, but, the industrialized base of Michigan being in the Southeast. Think of that. Think what happened to whole neighborhoods in the city of Detroit. Okay, think about parts of Illinois. Think about mid-Atlantic manufacturing, even all the way as far as New Jersey, Mark. Even as far as New Jersey. Who needs the integrity of work when you have an oxy? Am I right? All of which requires a slave class to these virtuous people, these so very virtuous people, right? In the third world and emerging countries, working for a bowl of rice until they finally just give up, Mark, and jump off the effing roof of the Apple building, right? And so they can have an affordable iPhone. We're duped. They were duped by every single myth of empire ever told by a ruling class to a citizenry population to get them to support illegal wars that squandered our national wealth, killed innocent civilians abroad, and sent their own children to fight in wars that they had no way to care for them when they came home. 5, ran up a national debt larger than all other generations combined. But they care only about the solvency of the government and Social Security until their own deaths. Once they depart from the earth, they couldn't give two shits what happens to the rest of us they leave behind. That includes their own kids and their grandkids. Supported politicians on both sides because they promised them homes they could not afford, collapsed the economy because of it, and destroyed the American dream for at least a generation. And they still, going to what Mike said about brainwashed by cable news, they still consume, it's more than just cable, all the same sources of information they did before, which led to these follies, and act as if they're the credible and intelligent ones. And that's the rub. As if anyone who still doesn't believe the idiots who lied to them all these decades, then they're stupid or something. And sure, Republicans could continue to obsess and try to win them over, or they could just simply motivate the people Mike was talking about, the younger generations that you and I are measuring in our polling. They are victims of these actions. It seems to me that it really shouldn't be that difficult to motivate them if they just get out of their own way. They're victims of these actions, and by the way, countless others that I omitted out of plain exhaustion in this post. Because after a while, it just became so damn much. I think you get the point. They inherited a superpower on the rise, and they passed us a declining superpower. Like Rome, not 200 years, not 400 years, not 1,000 years later. They inherited the emergence of an era of great human progress, and they handed us back the fucking Dark Ages.